Hi, welcome. This is Perfectly Paired with Jim May. I am a chef at Papapietro Perry, and today I'm going to be doing a mushroom bread pudding that's great for the holidays. It's easy to make and it's delicious as well. I'm going to start with the sauteing part. This is going to be the mushrooms, leeks, and garlic, and we'll get that started. Now you take a leek, cut off the green part, cut it down the middle, and then you clean it if it's dirty. This happens to be a pretty clean leek. If it's dirty, you wash it in water, but you're going to take this and chop it into little slices. All we need is 1 cup. So that's going to be probably half of one of these large leeks. A medium leek would be fine. And I'm going to put it in a pan with about 2 to 3 tablespoons of olive oil, along with some garlic, and we'll get that going a little bit more, I think. Like I said, this is a nice clean one. Put it in there. We have some garlic, 3 to 4 cloves of garlic, about 2 tablespoons, 3 tablespoons. Add that to it. We're going to give that 2 or 3 minutes to soften up. Then we're going to add our mushrooms. Now I've got 4 types of mushrooms. I've got the cremini, which is like baby portobellos. I've got oyster mushrooms, which are grown locally, along with enoki and shiitakes. And you cut up, just coarsely cut them. Takes just minutes to do. And this is going to be, as soon as this cooks down a bit, we're going to add the mushrooms. And we have some fresh herbs that we're going to be using. We have some fresh sage, a little fresh thyme, and some prosciutto is going to go in it. So this is thin sliced prosciutto, and I'm going to just cut this into strips. This gives it, between the mushrooms and the prosciutto, you have all kinds of umami going on, and that's always fun to have in the holiday, that extra sense of flavor. This, it goes along with the mushrooms. So we saute that. And while that's sauteing, I'm going to break 5 eggs into a large bowl. This is going to be like a custard. It's going to be like, well, most people make savory or sweet bread pudding. This is a variation on it for the holidays. 5 eggs. We're going to put in 3 cups of milk, whole milk. And we're going to put a ½ cup of cream in just to richen it up a bit. We're going to stir this up. Break up the eggs. And I'm going to put, I have a ½ cup of Parmesan cheese grated. I'm going to put half of it in here. The other half is going to go on the top. This is so easy to do. It's so fun. Like I said, I do 2 recipes for Thanksgiving. One's my grandmother's, and one is this one. So into the custard, we're going to make it a little bit of nutmeg. We have whole nutmeg. We just grate a little bit in there, probably about a 1/4 teaspoon. Don't need a lot. I put in a little bit of salt and pepper. Some salt, some fresh ground pepper, and stir this all together. It's got the cheese in there as well. You can smell that nutmeg. So this is just going to cook down for 8 to 10 minutes. We're going to let it cool for about 10, and then we're all going to put everything together. Prosciutto, as soon as that softens a bit, the prosciutto will go in at the last minute, along with some herbs. Now I have that fresh thyme and the fresh sage all ready to go. Sage is classic, you know, holiday flavors in the bread pudding. I've got 6 cups of bread, French loaf. It's like a ½ a loaf, cubed. I left it out a couple days so it's a little bit crunchy. It goes all into there, and you want to let that sit for at least 10-15 minutes to soak it up. So this has been cooking till everything's soft. The mushrooms are starting to brown. I'm going to sprinkle in the chopped and sliced prosciutto, which again gives a lovely flavor, good for holidays. If you're doing vegetarian, you could just leave it out, but it's an extra, like I said, flavor boost. I add the herbs to the last minute so it doesn't cook them all out. That's sage, adds 2 tablespoons of fresh or 1 tablespoon of dried, and some fresh thyme. I like to have this dish along with whatever you're having, turkey, ham, whatever, with Papapietro Perry's Leras vineyard. It's one of the first vineyards that we ever got, and it's Russian River fruit. It's classic Russian River. It's got this wonderful earthy richness with the cherry in the back. Perfect combination to go with this dish and to go with cooking. Okay, I have prepared a dish. It's a 9x13. Put a little oil or butter in it. I'm going to mix this all together. Put these bread that have been soaking for 10-15 minutes, soaking up all that custard. So now it looks just like a classic bread pudding, but then I'm going to add all this mushrooms, leeks, garlic, prosciutto, and herbs. Smells wonderful. It's going to make your kitchen smell like the holidays. Just kind of push it down into the custard. I'm going to put a little bit more. There's a 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese. Just going to sprinkle that on. And it's pretty much ready to pop in the oven. In a 375-degree oven. It's all ready to go. It goes in for about 45 minutes till it's golden brown on the top. And at that point, you can eat it right away, or you can stop and heat it up at your other family's home. And while that's cooking, you can enjoy a little bit of wine before you clean up. And then once it's done, you just scoop it out and have a little more wine with it, or open another bottle. So 45 minutes later, oh, it's looking pretty darn yummy. It looks like a bread pudding. It's got a custardy thing, and it's kind of like a stuffing as well. When you bring it to the table, I sprinkle a little fresh parsley on it, just to pretty it up a little bit. Gives it that nice fresh flavor. And then you just take it, like I said, it's just like a dessert, but it's savory. There's the mushrooms, there's that. You have that with a little glass of wine. Let me just make sure it's delicious. Crunchy on the top, custardy in the middle. And beautiful with the wine. It just meant that they're like meant to go together. Well, thank you for joining us. I hope you get to share our dishes with our wine. It's a wonderful combination. It's a great dish, easy as you can see, comes together in minutes. Good to go.